Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play ChäoS Child. In the last episode, we got the bad ending because Takuru had failed to find the right answer and at a very crucial moment in the case, and thus made a certain somebody very, very bored. And for that, Takuru died for his troubles. Very ignobly, I might add. But now is the time to actually get into the meat of this, because in this episode we shall actually be delving down the first of the character roots. As I said in the previous episode, I've written down, or at least I think I said, I've written down all the notes from the ChäoS Child fandom guide, and so I'm going to be doing them in the order of as the guide suggests, which means that the first character route that I'm going to be going down is the True World route, the character route of none other than Miss Hinae Ariumra. As I said in the previous episode, finding these character routes isn't exactly a cakewalk. There are very specific moments over the course of ChäoS Child that one must progress in a certain fashion in order to actually reach these story routes. So I shall, well, obviously they involve delusion triggers and or map triggers, but long story short, I'm just going to skip over the delusion triggers that I have already demonstrated in my main in the main course of my Let's Play of this. But I'll be showing you all the ones that I haven't shown, just for your perusal and or entertainment. But without further ado, let's get the show back on track. Alright, now there are 4 specific delusion triggers that I need to activate before I can access the True World route of ChäoS Child. Starting on number 3, because we've already seen the positive delusion triggers of the first 2 for Hinae Ariumra. So starting at the 3rd delusion trigger, and I just said they all needed to be positive. Because we saw the negative one last time, I'm just gonna show you on screen what the situation or how the situation will unfold in Takuru's mind if the simulation / delusion is positive instead of negative. But yes, we know this man. He is Detective Takeshi Shinjo.
ごめん、休養ができてしまった。買い出し任せていい？
Who's here to rendezvous with Madame Ariumra. And she's leaving her friends.
後で連絡する。
They left.
少し非常識じゃないですか。
And trigger go.
それで今日はどんな事件です？
Case. What was going on?
ヒカリオのホールで明日から行われる宝石展に予告状が届けられた。
The good old-fashioned classic jewelry heist.
まさか怪盗ロマンギーガー？
I don't know who this Lomanjiga is, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but apparently he's a phantom thief, of all things.
ああ、
Must be very impressive indeed if he has that title. What? I couldn't follow the conversation at all.
今回ばかりは取り逃がすわけにはいかない。
Apparently he is very
まっ
notorious.
たく人の予定も考えずに犯罪予告出さないでほしいですよね。
And like any good master thief, he sends out calling cards, letting the authorities know about his intended crimes. Almost like a certain professional thief from the Ace Attorney series, whose name currently escapes me. You all know the one I'm talking about, of course.
頼む、君の力を貸してくれ。
こないだラブホテルでひどい目に遭ったばかりなのに人使いが荒いことで。
すまないとは思っている。だが俺たちだけではどうすることも。
しょうがないな。今度とびきり美味しいロールキャベツをご馳走してください。それで手を打ちます。
Are cabbage rolls delicious? They might be, though. Maybe.
ロールキャベツ？まあ、それぐらいならいくらでもお安いご用だが。
よろしく。
To be fair, I don't mind cabbage unless it's boiled. Boiled cabbage, really boiled cabbage, is just terrible. Arimoto took the suitcase he offered her and got in the back seat of his car. The door closed shut. Are they going to drive off? But the detective was still standing next to the car. The back seat windows were heavily tinted, and I couldn't see inside. The car was shaking a little.
中で何してるのかな。
いかがわしいこと？
Really? Maybe there was some nasty old politician inside the car and he was pouring all over Arimura. The thought made me sick a little. Come to think about it, it was weird how the negative delusion of this actually unfolded. But we're on the positive delusion now. Did they somehow mix these up?
え、でもあの男の人は刑事さんだよね。
刑事だからって全員が正義の人だとは限らない。
Yeah, pretty certain by the color hue, and of course by the obvious positive along this corner here. This is the positive delusion. Maybe he was threatening Arimura and forcing her to do bad things to make money. I gulped and tried my best not to throw up, but they said, well, he said something about investigating this mysterious phantom thief. 5 minutes passed as I stood there and watched. The detective stood there the whole time. And then the back seat opened. When we saw how Ariumra was dressed, both Serika and I felt silent. Ah, so she was preparing a disguise. That explains it.
お待たせしました。
Although, please tell me she's not dressed as a Power Ranger. I mean, not that I have anything against the Power Rangers series from the 90s, it's just that... yeah, never mind. Huh? What the heck? Was she cosplaying a naughty policewoman? Her uniform came complete with a miniskirt. Ah, so she'd been changing clothes in the back seat of the car.
今日も決まってるな。ミニスカ捜査官有村ひなえくん。
So, apparently this is a thing.
お褒めいただきありがとうございます。それじゃ張り切って現場に乗り込みましょう。タク。
Yeah. Serika shook my shoulder. She was blinking rapidly in confusion.
有村さん、なんであんな格好を？
Yeah, one doesn't normally go after a phantom thief dressed like that.
なんてって言われても。
Yeah, it's all rather confusing, really.
そうか。わかったぞ。
Get what? What is there to get in this situation?
有村さんは普段は女子高生だけど、それは仮の姿だったんだ。その正体は女子高生ミニスカ捜査官。重大事件の時にだけ招集され、犯人を華麗に捕まえるんだ。有村さんにあんな秘密があったなんて、これは大スクープだぞ。新聞部ですっぱ抜こう。
Yeah, no, that isn't gonna happen anytime soon.
ミニスカ？タク、何言ってんの？
Yeah, what are you talking about, Takuru Miyashiro?
Eh?
Yeah, probably shouldn't utter your delusions out loud, in public, with Serika. I suddenly realized that Serika was looking at me in confusion. I quickly looked around. Of course, Ariumra wasn't wearing a miniskirt uniform. She seemed to be talking about something serious with the detective. Did I just say it out loud? Yes, you did. Oh no, that's embarrassing. Well, fortunately, neither Shinjo nor Hinae overheard you. That would have been even worse. My face was burning.
冗談だよ。
あんまりタクらしい冗談じゃなかったな。それとも実はそういう趣味だったとか？
How do you make that inference, Serika Inoue?
違う。
本当に？本当にミニスカ捜査官が趣味じゃない？
First of all, Takuru isn't into miniskirts, figuratively or literally. And second of all, yeah, Interesting that you would use the phrase miniskirt detective. Yeah, Takuru never said anything about miniskirt detectives. It's almost as if Sarah Coronoe has mind-reading telepathy powers. Spoilers. God damn it. Anyway, you're going to be jumping ahead to the fourth and final delusion trigger for the true world route. So I'll see you all in just a short while. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the, I believe this is the fourth and, yeah, the last delusion trigger that I need to actually get onto the true world route. God damn it.
心当たりないです？
For that, Hinae Ariumra has called Takuru Miyashiro to this classroom of all things. However, Takuru hasn't forgotten, yeah, what happened at the Fairies Dance Love Hotel. The reason she brought me here must be... I actually can't remember if I've seen this one or not.
宮代先輩っていい声してますよね。
No, I actually don't think so. I don't think I've seen this one.
そうですか。
Because for some reason, she's talking about Takuru's voice. No one had ever told me that before.
実は私、昔から声フェチなんですよ。
The hell is a voice fetish? That was really none of my business.
宮代先輩の声って十分腐女子の干渉に耐えられるクオリティだと思うんです。
I mean, there's music lovers, and then there's this. Quality?
そうかな。
マニアックな私が言うんですから、そうですって。
Well, that's great.
というわけで先輩、今からここで私のためだけに朗読してください。
Gonna have to ask you to pay money for that. I don't come cheap.
朗読ですか。
文芸部の活動の一環でもあるんですけど、宮代先輩にぜひとも。
Hopefully this doesn't lead to any doki dokis. It was hard to say no after all those compliments. Those are not compliments.
その何を読めばいいんですか。
ですね。それは。
It's being coy, but then again, that's actually how Hinae Ariumra is most of the time when she's actually dealing with people. Blushing, she took out a notebook.
じゃっじゃーん、これを。
Please don't say it's a death note. Then again, this is the positive route I'm going. It looked like a normal student's notebook. There was nothing on the cover. I flipped it open. Is it blank? Is it written in invisible ink? I was only on the first page, and already I was looking at a whole different world. Two pretty boys drawn in the style of a girl's manga were holding each other, mostly naked. I can see where this is going. It was drawn in pencil, and the illustration wasn't that great. There was even a dialogue bubble. Oh god. You know what? No. No amount of money is worth this. I'm not getting paid anyway, so, yeah. I don't understand. I mean, I know, I comprehend, I don't understand. Did Ariumra draw this?
これ私が文芸部で本を作る時用のネタ帳なんですけどね。やっぱ実際に男子に声に出してもらった方がイメージ湧くでしょ。
Where do we even start with this?
いや、そんなの僕には。
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. It's something that starts with Y and ends in I, and that's all I'm going to say on that subject.
お願いします。
Please no is my response.
無理です。
I refuse. But I refuse.
どうしてもダメですか？私こんなこと他に頼める男子がいなくて。
10 million yen, or actually no, $10 million. Then we'll talk.
女子の友達は多いんですけどね。男子ってちょっと苦手だったりしちゃったり。あでも先輩が嫌なら無理強いはできないですよね。
No, you
有村
cannot.
さん。
If she was really relying on me, I couldn't turn her down. Kinda
わ
can.
かりました。少しだけなら。
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
Things we do. She smiled happily. Now that I actually talked to her, I realized she was a strange person, but not a bad one.
で、
Just
どこを読め
strange.
ば？
最初からおなしゃす。
最初から？
You mean I have to read from right to left? She wanted me to read this aloud.
感情たっぷりにおなしゃす。エロい感じでおなしゃす。
I believe the words hell no come to mind. Could I do that? Oh, if you can, you're certainly braver than me, Takuru Miyashiro. I wouldn't do it. I took a deep breath to calm myself down. Ariumra was looking at me with stars in her eyes. It was embarrassing. Understatement of the millennium. I couldn't tell her to look away. I guess I just have to do it.
そのまま僕に突き刺して。君のエクスカリバー。
Question. The fuck am I looking at? No, seriously, the fuck? What the actual fuck is this?
うおー
Arimura's face went bright red. She started to pant, snort, and bang her head. The act of violently shaking one's head up and down, usually seen at a rock concert. It's definitely not something that you see people doing by themselves during their daily lives. But you'd be surprised how many people would actually headbang in public. This was tougher than I thought. Mentally, I didn't know if I could do it. That was just the first page. That was page 1. I wanted to get away as soon as possible.
もういいよね。
あー、ちょっと待って。次のページもお願いできませんか？
Oh god. I don't think we'll be able to make it to page 3. The next page. I flipped the page. There was a similar picture and dialogue bubble.
ささ。
お前のアイスキャンディー、俺の中でとろけさせてくれよ。
I know these are illustrations of the sumo stickers that we're seeing right now, but this is beyond weird.
Yes! Yes!
Yes, what? My words exactly.
次、お願いします。
No, can't handle page 3. I give up. I give up.
いや、やめろよ。この鬼畜巨根野郎。
Now you're just throwing the innuendos out the window. Innuendo is dead, ladies and gentlemen.
ああ。
We survived page 3. It's a miracle we're still alive. I didn't think we'd survive page 3. Arimura had a look of ecstasy on her face. Her eyes looked like she was on drugs. I'm sorry. This whole thing and this sentence is what gets me. God damn it.
先輩、最高です。最高にエロいっす。
I think there's something else in the drugs. Something hidden. And forgive me for making that obscure reference. God damn it. I hate myself now.
もう
I feel awful. And then her whole body started to spasm. A bit of drool was dripping out of the side of her mouth, but she didn't try to wipe it up.
こんな興奮したの初めてっす。先輩、これから定期的に朗読会やってもらえませんか？次は攻めの方のバージョンも聞いてみたいんです。それと今度は文芸部の同じ趣味を持つ人たちも連れてきます。 丈夫、みんな女子っすから。きっとみんな先輩の声にメロメロになりますからね。いいでしょ、いいですよね。
Hello? I'm terribly sorry. And that was how my career as a voice actor in gay porn for girls began. I have a question. Who the hell laced that delusion with LSD? Oh look, achievement unlocked. Adios, gracias. I I think that means that I think that means that we have unlocked the we are now on the true world route. I think maybe if that happened, I'd kill myself. But if that were her only secret, that would be fine. Well, maybe not fine. But felt like the real Ariumra was hiding something more dangerous. That she is. A very, yeah, subversive secret, I should say. That was probably why she brought me here. But, yeah. Even though, well, actually, let me start that over again. Now that we're finally on the true world route of ChäoS Child, I'm actually going to have to skip ahead quite a lot to, well, you'll all find out when we get there. So just bear with me for a brief moment. Alright, so we're not quite there on the path to the true world route, but I definitely think I'm on the right track. But yeah, had to jump ahead considerably to the point where Takuru and Hinae were encountering the woman they believed to be, well, they would ultimately assume to be initially Senri Minamisawa, but who was actually the shadowy pyrokinetic known as Riko Haida. Now, if I've done this right, if, well, given the fact that I've selected positive for the all four delusion triggers attributed to Hinae Ariumra, that should result in something known as a divergence event. For believe it or not, adventurers, it is possible to change things over the course of ChäoS Child, but the question is, have I managed to change things? Well, we'll find out. Yeah, Takuru has already deflected Riko's flames once before, but he needs to do so a second time, or be roast to a crisp. While I hesitated, Ariumra ran past the woman toward the street. I think that's done it. The woman slowly stood up. Okay, I don't think we did. I don't think we did. Well, hold on. Maybe, no, okay, maybe we did. I ran after Arimura before the woman could get up. Yeah, because, last time, when we first encountered Miss Riko Haida, she did manage to recover after Takuru unleashed his powers of psychokinesis against her pyrokinesis and deflecting it back at her. And when she did that, both Takuru and Hinae were both riddled with terror. Um, at the Medusian gaze of Riko Haida. But this time, we were actually able to get away. I ran down many different alleyways and turned on several corners. I didn't even know where I was anymore. I just kept running, sure that if I turned back, that woman would be behind me. I ran. And ran. And ran. And then... Aha! True world. Resisted truth and lies within those eyes. Ah, we fucking made it. Yay! I was worried there for a second. We are now, well, we are now officially on Hinae Ariumra's character route. Yay! But here's the thing. We're not out of the neck of the woods. We're not out of the woods just yet. Where's Ariumra? Where did Ariumra go? How could she run away and leave me behind? Wait, where did she go? She was right next to us a moment ago. Damn it. What the hell is wrong with that woman? Why did I have to go through this? Was it because I've been investigating the case? Then maybe...
あなた、殺されますよ。宮代拓先輩。
Not if we have anything to say about it. And we do have something to say about it. Maybe I should have listened to Arimura's warning. And yet, we have managed to create an event that, diverges the course of fate. For where there is convergence, there is divergence. Maybe I should have dropped the case right then and there. But back then, I never thought the killer would come after me. And I wasn't trying to catch them. Oh, but your paths would cross sooner or later. And in ways you never imagined. I just thought it was interesting. We were only following the case because it was fun. Yeah. That thought process is kind of similar to a certain somebody who, whose name I shall not speak of here. Was that just how the real world worked? I hadn't done anything wrong. In a manner of speaking. I'd just been doing this for fun. Was that enough to justify killing me? Oh, you have no idea. If she killed me, I would die. That's how death works. If I died, I'd cease to exist. Just speaking in redundancies. You must be terrified. I'd disappear. I'd be gone. I wouldn't be able to see anything, hear anything, say anything, eat anything. That's how non-existence works. And it is, yeah, non-existence is terrifying. Everyone would make a fuss at first. Maybe someone would cry. But they wouldn't really mean it, and they wouldn't do it for long. Before long, they'd all forget about me. And in a place as large as Shibuya, that, yeah, that possibility is a factor. Kurusu, Ito, Kazuki, and Serika. Oh, trust me, Takuru, they will never forget you. I'd be all alone in an empty, dark world. No one would remember me. No. No, 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 no. Anything but that. I... And just keep on running. I heard a noise in front of me. Footsteps. Did she get ahead of me somehow? Unless Riko can teleport. Could I do it again if I had to? You have the power, but do you have the power to use it? The way I dodged those flames. If that was what Arimura said was my power, but how? Through the power of the D-sword. I knew I had to bring out that sword thing again, but I didn't know how to do it. It wasn't working. Yeah, drawback of Gigolomaniac powers, you need another observer, Gigolomaniac or non-Gigolomaniac, to be able to manifest your powers. I've been able to do it before because I wasn't thinking about it, but when I tried to do it now, the panic won out. And not only could I not use my powers, I couldn't even see the sword anymore. The footsteps kept getting closer. It was no good. I'd have to run. It was all I could do now. Kind of reminds me a bit of that Moby song. Run on for a long time. Run on, dodging and dodging. Okay, I know that song is a cover of a... yeah. My mind knew I had to run, but my body wouldn't obey. My legs went numb and my heartbeat was deafening. The sweat pouring down my brow got into my eyes and I didn't even know where I was running anymore. We're just running somewhere, anywhere. The footsteps from behind got gradually closer. They were almost on top of me. Right around that corner. So close. Right on our heels, it seems. And look. She's right there. Wait, that's not Riko. That voice definitely wasn't Riko. I flailed my arms and legs out at my attacker, who screamed in a surprisingly cute voice. Yeah, it's Hinae. Looks like, that's two of us.
なんだよ、脅かすなよ。
驚いたのはこっちですよ。いきなり大声上げて。
Yeah, that's because Takuru thought that Riko could teleport all across town.
だって、僕はてっきりあの女だと。てか、なんでここに。僕を置いて先に逃げていったくせに。なんでまだこんなところにいるんだよ。
Yeah. Well, we should just be actually grateful that we didn't encounter a gigalomaniac who has teleportation powers.
それはこっちのセリフです。どうして私と同じ方向に逃げてきちゃうんですか？そんなことしたら追っかけてこられちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
Well, unfortunately, Riko is after both Takuru and Hinae because, well, given the fact that she's under a certain influence, she is being driven to deal with any and all gigalomaniacs who are still in Shibuya.
ちょっと待て。もしかしてお前、僕をおとりにするつもりだったのか？
別に最初からそういうつもりってわけじゃないです。ただ結果的にそうなったってだけっす。
Why you?
怪しいもんだな。そんなこと言って本当は。
し
Ariumra suddenly put her hand across my mouth before I could say another word. Yeah, Riko's still following them. I was about to complain, but when I saw the look on her face, I shut up and listened. Yeah, she is persistent. There was no doubt about it. His sound. This time, it really was that woman. Yep, and the flames. The flames are back. There was an explosion and a shockwave in the air that struck me in the face. I could smell something burning within the black smoke that covered my vision. And beyond it, yeah, she is furious. The woman with the empty eyes, Riko Haida, who we initially believed to be the late Senri Minamisawa.
なんで僕ばっかりこんな目に。
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないです。
Yeah, we need to get the hell out of Dodge. Emphasis on the word hell. And Dodge. I knew that, but what was I supposed to do?
こうなったら一か八かもう一度あの力を。
できるんですか？
わからない。でもやるしかないだろ。
I did it twice before. I forced my shaking legs to turn toward the woman. Her eyes were still empty as she stared at me. I couldn't sense anything in them at all. I couldn't tell what she was thinking or why she was doing this. It's almost as if she's being mind controlled. But I could tell that her eyes were looking at me. She was after me. Please, just one more time. Just one more time. Focus. Give me the power! The power of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
先輩。
いや。
先輩。
Unfortunately,
やっぱり無理だ。できない。どうしよう有村。
unfortunately, Takuru is freaking out.
今さらそんなこと言わないでくださいよ。
Unfortunately, Hinae's power is only discerning whether or not people are telling the truth or lying.
だってこういう時こそ火事場のなんとかでどうにかできるかもと思ったんだよ。
Maybe things weren't that easy after all. Yeah. It's all about trying to imprint your own delusions into the dead spots of other people. But unfortunately at this moment in time, Takuru Miyashiro hasn't quite figured out that little trick.
ていうか、お前の力でどうにかならないのか?
Her powers alone won't save us, but her D-sword might.
無理ですよ、そんなの。
And Riko approaches. I could see the woman raising her hand slowly out of the corner of my eye. This was not good. At this distance, if I got hit with those flames, it was going to be really hot. No, hotter than hot. I could burn to death. Even if I didn't die, I'd be badly burned. There was no way I'd be okay. I needed to find some way to run. But how? And where? A spiral of orange light was forming in the woman's hand. Oh. Does this mean I was going to die? Was I going to die now? Unless you do something, that is almost certainly going to be what happens. Did dying always feel so unreal? The woman was right on top of us now. A massive whirlpool of flames had formed around her hands. And then she slowly turned her hands toward us. And another gout of flames. And then there was a sudden strange sound as the flames flowed backward and struck her in the face. She flailed back and fell to her knees. That was not Takuru. I looked behind me and saw that Ariumra was holding a can of hairspray. Ariumra might not have expected it to do much, but it worked better than she could have possibly imagined. Well, that was some quick thinking on Hinae's part. Although we gotta be careful, hairspray is flammable. Ariumra was staring in shock at what just happened. There wasn't any time for that. The woman was slowly starting to look up at us. Ariumra's counterattack had made her angry. Angrier than she already is. And she is very angry. If she came after us again, we'd be dead. So let's not be dead. Before that happened... Yeah. Flee! Run for our lives. I picked up the spray can at my feet and flung it at our attacker, then grabbed Ariumra by the hand and ran toward the strange woman. She must have not expected that, because fortunately we didn't hear any footsteps right away. Well, turns out that hairspray is better than goggles, because the goggles, they do nothing. Nothing. For now we needed to lose her and get somewhere safe where we could hide. But the only place we could hide around here was there, in these darkened alleyways. But if she found that place... No, now wasn't the time to worry about that. I'd have to chance it. Well, we're going somewhere. Wherever somewhere is. Which appears to be more graffiti-ridden alleyways.
私もう無理。
Yeah, adrenaline can only carry you so far. And what happened to all that courage you had a moment ago? That wasn't courage.
何言ってるんだよ。もうちょっと頑張れよ。
そういう先輩こそ息上がってるじゃないですか。
Yeah, running at 70 miles per hour tends to do that. Damn it. Did she have to talk back at a time like this? Classic tsundere.
ここで諦めたら死んでしまうかもしれないってさ。分かってるのか。
I think she understands that only far too well.
わかってるけど。
But Ariumra was right. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it might burst. If our lungs don't already do that. In manga and anime, you always gained incredible stamina in situations like this. Evidently that didn't really happen though. I think a certain gigalomaniac might get it, but we don't have those powers, unfortunately. It was impossible for a human being to surpass their limits. Maybe I should have exercised more. Obviously it was too late for that. Still, that didn't mean I could give up. Even though you were about to, or just a moment ago.
そうすれば。
そうすれば。
And what? I didn't have the strength left to answer her question. We just had to keep going. Even a big city like Shibuya had lots of tiny overlapping little alleyways off the main streets. And this area was my home, which meant I had the advantage. Unless she manages to follow us in here, in which case said advantage is lost. And it wouldn't be long before I was right. I could hear sirens. Well, we lucked out. Even in an alleyway, someone would have heard all that noise. If the police were here, that woman would have bigger problems than trying to track us down. She's a pyrokinetic. She can just use her flames. How is that safe?
今のうちに。
先輩。
こっちに。
ちょっと。
Well, goes nothing. I lowered my body to the ground and headed further into the darkness.
先輩、ここって。
At this point, I'd be able to find my way there blindfolded.
ねえ、先輩、ここは。
し、今黙ってこの中へ。
でも。
いいから早く。
I have a question. Did we finally make it back to Miyashiro Park? We have. Hooray. Looks like, well, looks like we've escaped Riko for the time being. And, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play ChäoS Child. And when we return, adventurers, we shall continue down the true world route and see just where this path leads both Takuru Miyashiro and Hinae Ariumra. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.